Hey everybody, Mark Viertaler here, Boot Hill Distillery with another Thirsty Thursday here in the Boot Hill Distillery test kitchen. We're actually pulling double duty today with our Thirsty Thursday video. Not only are we going to show you how to make an amazing handcrafted cocktail featuring Boot Hill Distillery spirits, but this is also going to be the drink that we're going to feature tomorrow during our Final Friday celebration. Final Friday's this big downtown art crawl. It takes place here in Dodge City, last Friday of every month. We're going to start doing these featured cocktails a little bit more labor intensive, a little bit fancier, maybe something that you wouldn't have otherwise. So this is going to be called the Born Unto Trouble. For those of you who are a little more into cocktails, this is kind of a modified whiskey sour. Features Boot Hill Distillery red eye whiskey, some orange blossom honey syrup, Angostura bitters, fresh lemon juice, garnished with a fresh cherry, fresh orange, of course some egg white. You're gonna get this really nice, frothy, almost like meringue over the top of it. Of course, do have to give the usual warning that if you are making stuff with raw eggs, there is the chance for food poisoning. Now, likelihood is relatively small, but again, we do have to point that out. Just make sure you are aware going into this, there is always the chance. All right, so let's get started, and we're ready to make what we like to call Born Unto Trouble. Everything you see in front of us right now is everything we're going to need to make the Born Unto Trouble. We're just gonna need some fresh lemons, Boot Hill Distillery red eye whiskey, again, the orange blossom honey syrup, the Angostura. The Angostura is actually just going to be used for a garnish, so you don't have to worry too much about this right now. And of course, fresh eggs. So again, as I had mentioned, what you're going to want to do, make sure you are very careful with how you're handling your eggs. You'll notice here, when we mix with egg whites, we like to keep it on just a little bowl of ice. We only keep one out at a time. That way we can mix the cocktail right away. Dump it, head into the next thing, and we're ready to go. And that makes sure this stays nice and cold. Definitely do not want to be mixing with a warm egg. So to start out with, you're going to take your shaker. You're going to take your egg, and I like to break this in a separate glass. Again, main reason, for any reason, if you end up with eggshell, any yolk in it, you can clear it out. So just like if you were baking, you're going to break your egg, and you're just going to strain that egg white out. Typically, I like to hang on to the yolk. If you do hang on to the yolk, though, you want to make sure that you are using it pretty much within the day. These are going to go bad really fast. Otherwise, if you don't have a use for it, you can just go ahead, chuck it, not have to worry about it. We're pretty good in here. We do not have any yolk, so we're going to go ahead. We're actually going to pour it directly into our shaker. The reason we are doing this is we're going to do what's called a dry shake. Before we add any ice, before we add anything else into it, we're going to want to shake it so we can really emulsify that egg white and really just shake the bejesus out of it. Because what you're doing when you do it like this, you're going to get this really nice froth. It's going to emulsify that egg white, and so when you mix it, you don't have to worry about, say, as you're drinking, just getting this big old glob of egg white right on the center. So there we go. And if you can kind of see in there, you'll notice we've got this really nice froth going on. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and start adding our other ingredients. Two ounces of the red eye. You're going to do just about 3/4 of an ounce of your syrup. Now with here, depends on the size of the lemon that you're using. Since we've got these pretty massive lemons you see here, we're just doing 1/4 of a lemon. Really, you're trying to get about 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. You don't want to get too much, otherwise just that citrus is going to dominate everything. You don't want to get too little, otherwise you don't get that nice bite on it. There, so now that we have added all of our ingredients, I like to mix when we're doing these. I've played around with it. Use really big, nice ice chunks. These are some of the bigger cubes that we use here in the tasting room. And again, the reason you do that, if you're doing crushed ice, what ends up happening is you really just end up with a whole bunch of ice chunks. It's going to over-dilute your cocktail, and it's not nearly as pleasant. You don't get that same really nice velvety that you would expect. So again, you're going to shake this. What you're trying to do is aerate it. Really get a lot in there. And then you're going to break that seal. And You're just going to go ahead and pour your mixture there into your coupe. Typically, you're going to want your coupe to be pre-chilled, just so it's going to help it keep together. All right. If you'll notice, we've got this really nice froth on the top. Go ahead and just do a couple of drops. I like to make it look a little rougher. What we can actually do then, before you garnish, just do a quick swirl through. You get these really cool designs. Just kind of randomize it, unless you're feeling super artistic. And then you're going to garnish your orange and your fresh cherry, and there you have it. Born unto trouble.